What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets!
Sometimes nostalgia knows no bounds, and no matter how long my backlog gets, there are some games that I can't help but revisit. These particular games kept me company through the good times and the bad, and they will always hold a special place in my heart. These are the games that made me the gamer I am today. These are the games that made me.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
There aren't many games that I can say have influenced me from a very young age. I think the one that has influenced me from the earliest age is Castlevania's Symphony of the Night. This game is by far one of my earliest gaming memories and loves. The first time I've ever seen it in action was at my cousin's house when I was about 4 years old. Of course, I didn't play it until I was much older, but something about this game just stuck with me until I finally got to play it. I love this game so much that I've played almost every version available. This game is not only one of the best Castlevania games, but one of the most influential games in the past 20 plus years. It was the first big departure from the traditional format of Castlevania games, but more importantly, it helped refine the non-linear action platformer commonly referred to as Metroidvanias because of this game and Super Metroid. This game, before any other, embedded itself in my heart, not only creating a lifelong Castlevania fan, but a lifelong Metroidvania fan. This is how Castlevania Symphony of the Night made me the gamer I am today. This game takes place right at the end of Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Haven't played that one? No worries, most people in North America hadn't at the time of this game's release either. Instead of a true Rondo of Blood release, we got Castlevania Dracula X on the Super Nintendo, which is basically a watered down port with way too many changes and alterations to talk about now. In fact, North America didn't get a real Rondo of Blood release until the PSP remake Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, which, on top of being a pretty good remake, also had new versions of both Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night as unlockables. You start the game as Richter Belmont, confronting Dracula in his throne room. After some of the best and worst cheesy dialogue ever,
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets!
he engages in combat and bests Dracula, fulfilling his destiny as a Belmont. We then find out, after defeating Dracula, Richter has gone missing, and Dracula's castle appears again, triggering an investigation by the man himself, Alucard.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
This is where the real game begins. We take the reins of Alucard, setting out to investigate and destroy the castle and his father. Alucard storms the castle, taking down everything in his way in one hit, until he runs into Death, who tells him to knock off his shenanigans or else. He refuses, so he gets jacked of all his overpowered weapons. Underpowered and determined to erase this castle from existence, Alucard presses forward, despite the setback, ready to face everything his father's castle has to throw at him. Dracula's castle is the biggest it's ever been. The best part of this game is exploring the castle, finding new items, weapons, and abilities while defending yourself from the horrors inside. Each area has its own distinct personality, with distinct environmental music that really helps sell each area. This place is massive. There's a laboratory, catacombs, chapel, coliseum, and so much more. This does get a little old later in the game when everything is flipped upside down, literally, but to be honest, I still really enjoy those areas. This is a side-scrolling action platformer with light RPG elements. In true form, you get no real direction on what to do other than to find out what's going on and end it. Progression is made through exploration and gaining upgrades, new abilities, or key items that unlock previously inaccessible areas. So anyone who doesn't like backtracking and looking for areas that could have been missed the first time you were there, this game might not be for you. You have two hands that you can either equip weapons to, a weapon and a shield, which was my most common method, or nothing at all, and try to take Dracula down with nothing but your meat hooks.
You son of a bitch!
You also learn spells along the way that Alucard can execute, and if you know the best combo of weapon, shield, and spell, you can screen nuke rooms of enemies. Alucard has the ability to shapeshift into a bat, wolf, fog, and yellow fog.
Lemon snow? You mean it just falls from the sky like that?
You bet, one of nature's treats.
Okay, the yellow fog is a poison upgrade. These abilities help keep the exploration fun and interesting by allowing you to reach new areas, solve puzzles, use their special abilities to zip around the castle, or pass through gates. The enemy variation is amazing, and I never got tired of killing baddies, with each area having a great amount of enemies to challenge you as you press forward. This game has some amazing bosses too, and some of the best ones are optional. It really goes to show how much there is to discover if you really go out of your way. One thing that this game does that I thought was kind of a stupid padding idea was when you discover a secret way to defeat what seems to be the final boss. The castle flips upside down, and now you have to explore it all over again. The biggest problem with this is that the castle was obviously designed to be explored right side up, so when it flips upside down, there are areas that feel clunky and hard to maneuver around. I used the bat transformation to fly around through most of the inverted castle because of this. But in the many playthroughs I've had over the years, I don't mind it anymore, and a lot of the best bosses and weapons are in the inverted castle. This game means the world to me. I've played it on the PS1, PS3, PSP, and on countless emulators over the years, and even went out of my way recently to get a black label PS1 copy, which was, man, it's getting expensive to collect. The only version that I haven't fully played through is the original Sega Saturn version, which is definitely going to change with my Steam Deck. The atmosphere, character sprites, and sound design are absolutely amazing, and for how cheesy and bad it is, I love the voice acting, especially Alucard, whose voice fits so well and is probably the best in the game.
Demon, death is too good for you.
I just can't stop myself from playing it at least once a year. This game shaped my love for gothic horror, Castlevania, and Metroidvania games. Symphony of the Night was so influential in its design that even a lot of the Castlevania games that came after stuck to the Metroidvania format. One thing that I am super excited about is the new Castlevania animated series that is supposed to follow the story of Richter Belmont, so I can only hope that the story of Symphony of the Night plays a role in it. And if you haven't watched the Castlevania anime on Netflix already, and you're a Castlevania fan, you should definitely watch it. It has some amazing visuals and voice acting, especially from Graham McTavish as Dracula.
There are no innocents! Not anymore! Any one of them could have stood up and said, no, we won't behave like animals anymore.
I think everyone who has an interest in Metroidvania games, side-scrolling action platformers, or an interest in playing through one of the predecessors of modern non-linear action-adventure games should check this game out. I can't recommend it enough. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you liked about the video. Let me know what you didn't like about the video. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.